Hi, I'm Ed Sexton. I'm the architect, the engineer, and all of the above for this house that we've built. I do have an engineer. I do have an architect. I also have a soils engineer and a landscape engineer. We're on a bedrock. We have more than 60 piers going down into that bedrock. We have three main features here. We have stone, we have steel, and we've got light. And light is the most important thing. Light is everything to this house. The ceilings in this room are 12 feet high. As we would step into any other part of the house, this drops down to the next floor, right behind me. And that has an 8'6" ceiling. But it feels so much bigger because it's open. Eric Tridy was the engineer for the Davies Hall. And most of that is done in steel and stone. If you know that Davies Hall is in San Francisco. And it's all glass. So this was perfect for him. He said, you couldn't do what you're doing in wood. So behind every post, every beam, everything you can see that would have structural, I'm sitting on steel. It comes right behind me and over me. And the fireplace here, that is a major piece of the house, is also a container of almost every feature of the house. And this is all engineered so that we could build this style house, because glass and steel are unforgivable. Either they work, they fit, or they don't. You can't shave a little bit off. It doesn't work that way. So every detail was followed to the nth degree. What I do like about this one spot here is, because I'm up 55 feet above from my lowest point of the property, I have a view over everything in front of me, and yet I'm not in the water. I'm not worried about erosion. I'm not worried about wave action. I'm not worried about wind that comes right off the water. Not only is it solid, but it also has some very romantic parts to it. We have, off to my side here, we have an island. Out here, of course, we have the Golden Gate Bridge, and then Belvedere, and then San Francisco. So we have a lot of views. The coots, of course, seagulls, but the pelicans are the most interesting because they'll come in formation like a series of B-52s and just sail like in. When you have the boats racing, at this point, they open up their spinnakers and they're sailing downwind.
Why do you like living in this location? How do you and your wife?
You know what I enjoy most? I enjoy the weather. I enjoy the light. I enjoy waking up and seeing something that is so clear and crystal clear. When everybody else is in the fog, we're in the sun. And the plants can show it to you. I mean, you see the bougainvilleas here, and this is winter, and they're in bloom still.
You know what I love is the quiet. It's so quiet here.
It's because we don't have the motorboats going through.
Karen, it's so nice to talk to you and hear the other side of the equation. Mm-hmm. So maybe you can describe how you and Ed chose this location.
Well, we were in need of more space. We were directed to this location as being one that people maybe didn't appreciate for its potential, and we could see the potential right away, so we were really thrilled. This location is about I think a 7-minute walk down to the ferry dock. It's less than a 20-minute ride on the ferry over to the city, so I could scan the newspaper or my BlackBerry on the way to the office. And then for me, it was just a 2 or 3 minute walk across the street to my office. Couldn't have been more perfect. We have friends who said one time, you have a lot of places to sit. Well, the outdoor spaces evolved for us too as we were going through the planning. We knew we wanted a very large deck outside the living room, and we knew we wanted the living room, dining room, kitchen, and that deck to all flow together. As we've talked before, the true California indoor-outdoor lifestyle. And with the weather being so ideal here, it's very often, most often, possible to have a party that flows through all of this space. That's why the limestone extends out onto the deck and so forth. I had a little passion for a tuck-away patio, one where you could picture yourself stealing away with a book and being surrounded by greenery. That's the back patio across the little bridge from the kitchen. And then a kind of discovery on our part, we had a little lanai type area down in the lower level where it's raining. We can't be out in the weather, but we can have a heater and still have the outside air, which is, you know, the great advantage of living in this little protected space cove that we have here.